Today on Rock the Park,
we got turkeys, a ton of them.
We're cruising through South Dakota and the scenery is wild.
That guy's horns are huge. They are locked in. Oh, wow.
The pit stops are out of this world.
It's just through this little crawl.
You're surrounded by crystals.
And the detours make our heads spin.
Hold on, where do we come from?
We're a little lost. It's all a part of the true Dakota experience.
That's a skull? Gosh.
And it all starts now.
Let's go.
I'm Jack Stewart. And I'm Colton Smith. We've been buddies for years, and we love exploring the national parks.
It's all about packing up a car and just doing it, just hitting the road.
Our goal is to visit every national park in this country.
And when you go off the beaten path like we do,
there's no telling what will happen next.
Get set to rock the park.
Today, we're hitting the road in a state loaded with parks.
We're in the middle of South Dakota right now, heading to the Badlands.
But this is a road trip, and there's some incredible places to discover along the way.
Everyone goes to Mount Rushmore, but we're checking out the other jewels, like the third longest cave system in the world and one of the biggest state parks in the country, all within driving distance in the southwest corner of South Dakota.
Custer State Park is known for its massive bison herd. But there are plenty of other creatures up and at it early.
That is the advantage of hitting the road early. Prime time for wildlife viewing. Whoa, 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 Jack, look at this, look at this. We got turkeys, a ton of them. This is why you take the back roads, right here.
Wild turkeys will congregate in flocks or rafters of up to 40 or 50 birds to protect against predators. They're loud and usually fast, but right now, we're at a bit of a standoff.
All right, they're backing off.
I think it's pretty obvious that the animals kind of run the show around here.
Yeah, right.
He's having his breakfast. Oh, do you see that? He's looking right at us.
He's staring
All right,
at
we've
us.
been spotted.
The 18-mile wildlife loop road through Custer State Park is perfect for spotting all kinds of animals.
Oh, we got pronghorn.
All right, we're looking at almost 30 of these guys.
Pronghorn, endemic to America, are not found anywhere else in the world. Large eyes and fantastic vision help them spot predators from a long distance. Being the fastest land mammal in North America helps too.
Whoa. We got a standoff. Oh, man. Oh, they are locked in.
During their fall mating season called the rut, bucks will defend their territory aggressively.
We literally have this one pronghorn who's just starting stuff with everybody.
He's taking on the bigger males with antlers. He looks like he's in a little bit over his head.
Most encounters end with one of the pronghorn being chased off.
That is one of the coolest things I have ever seen. But, you see all those big brown spots up there?
They're hard to miss.
We got some bison.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Bison have been roaming this area since prehistoric times. They are the symbol of the Dakotas and are sacred to the native Lakota people.
Holy cow. We have so many bison right here. What, 100 right here, 100 more over there?
This was an animal that was hunted down almost to extinction. And now there's a ton of them.
100 years ago, this herd started with just 36 bison. Today, due to careful management by the park, it's nearly 1,500 strong. And the bison have company.
Look at the little prairie dog in front of him, too. Oh my gosh, look at him. You can hear him, too. You hear the prairie dog?
Oh yeah.
This is so neat to see. These tiny little prairie dogs, the size of house cats, and then all these buffalo, some probably the size of your car. And they're just walking right next to each other.
Black-tailed prairie dogs weigh just 1 to 3 pounds. Their brown fur blends in with the burrows they dig close together in communities called towns.
That guy must be the scout. He's just standing up. Yep. Just looking, scanning.
And then when he sees something, he just goes, rah, rah, rah. And then the whole community just erupts with barking.
And that's partly where they get their name, prairie dog, is their bark. It's not that deep, but it echoes.
We could watch the animals in Custer State Park all day, but we've got another destination ahead of us.
Let's go.
30 miles down the road, our adventure is about to get a lot deeper, darker, and intense.
We're road tripping through southwestern South Dakota, and it's time to dig a little deeper into what this area has to offer.
I couldn't be more excited to be here. We're going wild caving.
Jewel Cave is the third longest in the world at 177 miles, and cavers like Ranger Dan Austin are still discovering new sections every year.
So the wild cave tour,
Yes, sir.
how wild?
And this is considered one of the more challenging wild caving tours the National Park Service offers. No pathways, no lights, nothing like that. We want to show people this cave in its totally natural state.
Just 5 people a day can go on this tour, and only if they pass the test.
We can't even go unless we can fit through this, right?
Correct. 8.5 by 24 inches.
8 inches, that,
Well, 8.5.
oh, the difference maker, the half inch.
Every half inch helps, and this verifies that we can fit through the tight crevices ahead.
Piece of cake.
Not bad.
Well, hey, you can do it.
After gearing up with helmets and pads, we head down 23 stories underground in an elevator.
If you didn't know better, you'd think we were in an office building. Until
You walk out of the elevator into this giant room.
Sweet. It's almost like a cathedral. There's all these different colors of the rocks. There are crystals.
Jewel Cave formed about 50 million years ago as acidic water seeped into cracks in the ground and hollowed out the limestone, leaving behind the biggest collection of calcite crystals on Earth. It's easy to see them in these still images, but many lining the cave are now covered with dust.
This is the hole right here.
we're 300 feet below the surface.
Here we go.
All right.
It's a tight squeeze over unstable rock, and Dan disappears through it in a split second.
Here we go. This crawl is pretty awkward looking. It's like a big L. Oh. I squeeze my way through and contort my body, and I'm out. All right. How was it? It's actually quite pretty. You're surrounded by crystals. Not too bad.
This is the moment I've been waiting for. The floor, the walls, and the ceiling are all within a foot of my head.
Yeah, all right. That was fun.
Of the 177 miles in this cave, 17 of them are marked trails, and they're full of rare and bizarre formations.
See these balloons? Tiny balloons. Yep, there's a big one right there.
What are those?
Those are hydromagnesite balloons. They have only been found in about a dozen caves throughout the world, and this is the first spot where they were discovered.
Hydromagnesite is a mineral that sometimes builds up in caves. It's that pasty white substance coating the walls. These balloons form when pressure forces the mineral through tiny cracks, and it expands and fills with gas.
Exploring a cave takes as much mental endurance as it does stamina, especially climbing up and through boulders.
Oh, tight quarters here.
You got it. We're on our way right now to Hurricane Corner, and the spaces are getting smaller and smaller. I don't know how tight the squeeze is gonna be.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
Hurricane Corner is so named for the strong winds blasting right through it.
Look at that. Whoa.
Just joking.
Oh my gosh. I totally bought that.
It's my turn to go through this hole, and it ends and drops down.
Are you kidding me right now?
No, it drops a good 6 feet.
Not only are we diving down into another passage, but that passage is getting smaller.
Oh, it's tight.
Oh, I see what you were saying, Jack. Oh my gosh.
Well,
We're bearing down on Hurricane Corner right now. It's just through this little crawl.
Gosh.
Right in front of us lies our toughest challenge of the day. It's only 12 inches tall and 18 inches wide.
All right, here I come.
I start to crawl through this and I feel this wind just start to blast me.
Ooh, you can feel the wind blowing through it.
The hurricane?
Yeah.
Airflow deep within Jewel Cave has been clocked at 32 miles per hour, and it's a great indicator that there's much more cave to be discovered.
This is a tiny space.
Ooh,
Don't say ooh.
it's tight. It's really, really tight.
I start crawling through this and I feel my whole body cinch up inside this thing.
It's crazy when you're trying to squeeze your body through these little holes because it doesn't feel natural, but you can do it.
All right. Woo!
Bro? I'm out, yeah.
Okay. I'm coming to the other side.
All right.
Mind over matter.
I'm torquing my body. I'm getting small.
Oh, man. Oh, ow, dang it.
What happened?
I was looking at the hole and I banged my head.
Focus.
All right. Time to get real small. Okay.
I take a deep breath and I go for it. I have no wiggle room whatsoever. As hard as I can, I am squeezing and inching my way through.
Oh, man.
Nice.
Man,
That's sick.
that was. Yeah. That was a lot of fun.
I've had trouble with tight spaces, but the only way to work through that is to keep challenging yourself. That's how you conquer a fear.
And that's how you get to explore one of the most awesome hidden wonders on Earth. But South Dakota isn't done with us yet. Our next stop, the Badlands. Today's the last leg of our South Dakota road trip, and we're taking on Badlands National Park,
Wow.
where the name pretty much says it all.
That is one crazy landscape.
This alien-looking terrain was formed by hardened layers of sand, silt, and clay that eroded over 500,000 years. The native Lakota people gave it the name Badland because of the extreme temperatures, lack of water, and challenges of traveling through it.
Our goal for this trek is to navigate through this maze of cliffs and buttes and then cap it off by spending the night right out there under the stars.
We're heading for a place called the Pinnacles Overlook.
Looks like we're kind of going straight west.
First checkpoint, Deer Haven.
I hope we find it. Me too.
Deer Haven is an oasis of sorts. It's an elevated area that collects water and supports a lot of plants and wildlife. Our biggest barrier in getting there will be the Wall, a 100-mile stretch of cliffs that soar more than 100 feet high.
So we decide we're gonna go to the right and see if we can get through a little slot canyon.
It's hard to tell where one mountain starts and another ends.
We could be heading into a dead end.
All right.
We haven't even gone a mile when we realize we made a wrong turn, going right when we should have gone left.
Definitely wanted to experience the Badlands, but right now we're getting schooled a bit.
The Lakota navigated their way through by following the bison, and those bison trails still exist.
Maybe there was a trail after all.
The Badlands contain the largest prairie wilderness in the United States.
After about a mile of trekking through the grasslands, we come around this bend and there it is. Deer Haven is straight ahead of us.
It sticks out like a sore thumb. It's got juniper trees everywhere and a lot of wildlife.
Come here. Look, see them all?
Bighorn.
Wow. Yeah, that's, oh man.
That guy's horns are huge.
Bighorn sheep can adapt to a variety of very harsh environments. Some can survive without water for up to 5 days.
Once again, we find ourselves in a ram jam. We need to go straight, but they're directly in our path. So what we're gonna try to do is hug this wall and get around them so we don't disturb them and they don't harm us because those are some big animals. Ooh, uh-oh. They are looking right at us. Oh, dude, he's, oh, jeez.
You keep all the ladies, man. They're all yours.
All right, they're safely behind us. So now we can continue up to Deer Haven. Talk about a change of scenery. We literally went from the rocks to the grass. Now we're up in these trees, this lush greenery.
Finally, we reach the top of Deer Haven, and we see the entire landscape and know exactly where our camp spot is going to be for tonight. We're camping at large, meaning there's no designated site. The spot we've picked is about halfway between Deer Haven and our outpoint, Pinnacles Overlook.
We're gonna be going straight through this maze down here, but I think there's enough open spots where we can find our way through it and then hopefully camp out nestled right in between these rocks. It's a perfect spot to end today.
March on.
Alrighty. Oh, no way. Check this out, dude.
Oh, is that a fossil?
I think so.
That's a skull?
Gosh. And you can totally see right here that this is a skull because you've got that little tooth that just jets right off of it right there.
The Badlands are famous for rich fossil deposits, which tells us that dinosaurs once ruled this land.
Okay, hold on, where do we come from?
The maze that looks so simple from up above is throwing us again. You have a landmark and you start heading towards it, and then that landmark disappears.
We've gotten ourselves into this corner where everywhere we turn, it's a dead end.
And more importantly, the sun is starting to set.
It would be so dangerous trying to navigate this at night.
It's gonna get cold. I mean, really cold. The temperature swings here in the Badlands are enormous. That's gonna come fast, and it's not gonna be fun.
We're lost in a maze of rock formations in the Badlands, trying to find our campsite before the sun goes down.
We've got to get to higher ground. If we can spot our overlook, we can find out where we're going.
There it is. From a distance, all these cliffs look nice and tiny, but when you're in the thick of it, they basically blind you, and it's really easy to get turned around.
We've got our compass set, which gives us the direct path to our waypoint. We just got to beat the sun now. We've got it in sight, but as soon as we get down off of this wall, it disappears. Let me quick check the compass. This is our straight path, straight ahead of me. If this gets through, we'll eventually be heading that way.
Just loop one more loop around.
Straight forward.
It's within reach. How do the bison do it? I have a feeling they're not taking that path, man.
They're the locals. They've got this place down. Yes, we made it.
And we still got daylight to spare.
Woo!
Barely.
All right, nice.
This amazing little corner of South Dakota packs a punch and gave us more adventure than we imagined.
You can have all the tools, and you need them. You definitely need them. You gotta rely a lot on yourself.
This has broadened my perspective of the national parks. It was challenging, but you know what? We were able to push through it, kept the smiles on our faces, and right now we're sitting here taking in the sunset.
You can't beat it.
Well, it's official. Custer State Park, Jewel Cave, and the Badlands, we rocked them.
And remember,
Hey, if we can do it,
So can you.
so the next chance you get, go out and rock the park.
everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure to leave any questions or comments that you have.
And please subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more to come.